Wait, I need that phone so I can see comments. And we are the Other People's Show. I'm Adam.
I'm Lana.
And we have a wonderful show for everyone tonight. It's been really great. It's been a very interesting week. It's been a very difficult week
I'm sorry.
in retrospect, but a interesting one nonetheless, as Lana tries to get her camera fixed. But thank you for checking out the Other People's Show. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or the Facebook fan page. And Pandemonium. Pandemonium on Lana's side.
The harder you try, the worse it is.
Yes, it is. But that's okay because we don't have anyone watching at this particular moment. They're getting ready to tune in. For those that are just tuning in, please check out the Other People's Show on YouTube. We have a brand new series that's coming out. It's coming out this Sunday, noon. Pippin, season 1 day is noon coming out. Pippin, season 1
forward to it.
is coming out, and I really look forward to it.
Now you've seen episode 1.
Yeah, I have too. Now you've seen episode 1, haven't you?
And I know Pippin personally.
And I know
There's
Pippin
absolutely
personally.
nothing in it that I predicted.
Not what you expected.
Not what you expected?
And I couldn't predict
I couldn't predict what I thought what was the story, how's it gonna go with this?
What you actually did. It's different.
It's
than
different.
what
Is it
I-
better than you expected?
Which is
Which is different.
It's better than what I expected.
Really? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's better than what I expected.
Very cool. Now, I was just stated that it had been, you can move the microphone up if you want to. It's been a little bit of a difficult week.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I'm
So has it been a difficult week for yourself?
It's kind of been a shit week, but I just started to move fast, and we're all gonna have bad days and feel bad and react bad and think bad and all that stuff. But I think I'm on the other side. So
Right.
I mean, let's just move forward.
No, it seems like,
Let's just keep on going.
what do you think that it seems like sometimes that some of the bad times that you have can lead to something very positive in your life, and in the turmoil at the moment, you might not be able to see it, like the forest for the trees kind of scenario.
You know, Adam, I actually think this would probably be a better topic or something we should get into a little bit more. Probably with our late day show.
Okay.
People do the late day show. Usually every Friday at midnight, but I think summer schedules, all that, people vacationing, taking people to airports, which is what we have to do tomorrow.
Yes.
So it might be, like tomorrow, so that's why that show would be postponed tonight. So.
Right. Now, we have been doing a little bit of an odd schedule. Now, Jake has been in Tokyo.
Hey, question. I had read that they weren't letting spectators watch because of pandemic fears and all that.
Mhm,
Is he a
very
spectator, or is he actually working to where he would have a journalist pass or something to get through to be able to watch live, because they're not allowing spectators anymore?
Right. I think Jake will be doing live events, maybe on ESPN 2 or 3.
Sweet.
But it's interesting that you mentioned that. Someone else had inquired about Jake and asked if it would affect him. And from what I know of the situation, it's not really affected him. But that is a little bit of a bummer. And people are like bummed
Forever bummed.
because they're not able to go enjoy the Olympics live.
I'm not sure that he's forever bummed. He just forever looks like a bum.
That's true. I don't know. Jake is a classy fellow and wears some nice Yeezys. We had mentioned those briefly earlier, had we
I
not?
want a pair of Yeezys. I don't even know what that means, but I just don't sell it. I can't be sold, but I spend money on it.
Right.
I spend money on a lot of useless
Mambo Jumbo.
Yes.
Would you say
And
something?
designers,
Can you hand me water there?
and designers, but I just
Could you hand me water?
no.
No. Would you say that you spend money on Mambo Jumbo?
Random.
Hey, Ray.
Random things, yes. Yes, I spend money on random things.
Now, I do want to give out a positive report. Ray Keaton, I think Ray's sister had a procedure yesterday, and it turned out in a very positive fashion. So I'm glad that she had a good report and made it through everything okay. And Ray, thank you for tuning in as well. Keaton and Catherine and Lisa. So a lot of people tuning in. Now, Lisa did have a question earlier. Now, this might be more custom for like the late date show, but I thought we might maybe dive into it a tiny bit.
Let's just
here.
mulligan the shows together. Go
Yes.
ahead. What's the top?
So or maybe actually, I think I'll bring it up tonight. People can marinate on it. Let it
Simmer
simmer,
stew.
percolate
Yeah.
a little bit, and maybe talk about it tomorrow. And Lisa loves the pictures in the background. You have some nice pictures there, Lana. Those are pictures of the New York skyline and the Brooklyn Bridge.
So it's New York South.
Yeah, New York. Yes. So keep in mind, everyone, and Lana, you keep in mind also, if you are able to stay friends with an ex, why or why not? That was a question that Lisa asked earlier on. And now, if people don't know, and I'm thinking about doing a meet and greet, because we visit every weekend. We seem to visit some local establishments.
This is true.
And today we visited the Little Mexico in Big Stone, the general store in Big Stone. We saw Trevor Mead.
Yeah.
We visited. You got a drink there.
Yeah.
A shout out
Shout out to Kristen.
So she fixed a very delicious
She has
old fashioned.
Well, I don't necessarily. It was just a moderated old fashioned, just to
Okay.
test out whiskey. So I'm a whiskey tester.
And then we actually went to Reno's as well.
Yeah.
To finish up, and then we each weekend we try to go and make appearances and get the word out about the show, say hello to everyone, and engage in.
We generally run into people that we know.
Yes.
Like maybe from just new friends or old friends. Like even if there's not like crowd, we generally run into people we know, and that's always pleasant. It's always nice.
Yes.
I do enjoy just being out, even for 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Just hello, whatever.
Now it's weird because like last a couple weeks back, an embarrassing thing happened where we had drank at Reno's, and I had left without paying my final tab. So I was nice. It was pleasant enough for one of the waitresses there, bartenders, Heaven, to message me, "Hey, dude, you forgot to pay your tab," and I'm like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah.
And it was by all accident, really. It
I'm
was.
calling right now. Like what? But I guess on the other side of how you would just seemingly stand up and walk out, there's probably other situations and other going-ons in the milieu,
Right.
if you will. Milieu means your emotional environment or reactive environment.
And we typically, when we're drinking and stuff, we drink. I mean, even eating, dining, typically outside. As of late, we went inside a few weeks ago. But typically, we try to go.
Well, it's al fresco is the way to go. If I'm going to eat, if I'm going to drink, I would prefer it to be al fresco.
I agree.
Outside, sitting outside, sounds, even bugs. Like, of course, I don't get bit, but I do enjoy be sitting outside to mingle,
Right.
relax.
Mingle among
No
the
walls.
commoners.
I don't like the Did you just call
What?
people commoners?
The commoners.
The commoners.
We're
You're very common.
we're of the people.
He's very common.
I think that we're all of the people. Don't you?
Of the people. We're the other people. What do you think the other people means?
You know what?
I actually don't even understand this. I have very graciously volunteered to help you with this show, but I actually don't know what the other people stands for. Adam, what does the other people stand for?
So here's how the other people came about. For those that are just tuning in, there's a lot of new viewers and listeners.
Hello.
we did a radio show called the Midnight Mutants Radio Show, and we did that successfully. And Tasha tuning in. Hey. We did a successful radio show in Eastern Kentucky for a couple of years. And then we did the show successfully in the Arlington, Fairfax, DC region. So when I came back, there was a completely different cast and crew of the show. So I was like, we need a completely different name because the show's completely different. I was flipping through one summer, listening to, it just landed on some kind of random political talk show. And they were like, we're not
Sounds interesting.
we're not of the people. We're not for the people, or I can't remember exactly how it came about, but it was saying that they were other people that weren't being represented. And I thought, you know what? The other people. We are the other people.
You know, the only thing I recall hearing was like a set group back and forth being called deplorables. So if we're the other people, are we deplorables? I mean, I don't know what.
I don't really know. I don't even know if it was that.
I don't give a good goddamn.
But it was just kind of like we're not those people. We're probably different than any other people that you'll hear on the radio or watch streaming. And now Tasha is saying, Adam, you said it right on the radio station, and now you're saying my name wrong. And Catherine is saying, mingle with the commoners. Now, is that a bad phrase if you say I'm mingling with the commoners? I don't mean that as a derogatory term, commoners. Is that like bad? Is that like King Farquaad talking about his,
I don't know who King Farquaad is.
from
But
Shrek? Shrek.
I'm not. Oh my gosh, if my friend Megan sees this, I'm not really that familiar with Shrek.
You've not seen the first Shrek movie.
She would be disappointed if she.
Wait,
I'm
I'm
Megan's, but the Megan that would know that would be disappointing.
about to take that head of it. Finding Nemo,
Yes.
Finding Dory,
Yes.
some of these other Pixar movies. Even though Shrek is a DreamWorks movie, you don't know Shrek, Lord Farquaad. You seem like you would have watched Shrek. Have you never
I
watched?
have watched Shrek.
Okay.
I just don't think I don't think I loved it at the initial tour. I would continue to watch it.
I've only watched it once, but I just remember. See, people might not know this, and I think you've learned this. I'm actually a dork, really. I mean, hand me that first DVD up top right there.
I'm actually pretty sure there are people.
Like, show them the first DVD on there.
People watching that don't know you, but I'm pretty sure that everybody knows you. Like it's not like they weren't aware you were a dork.
Like that's the first, that's the first DVD.
He looks like Pee-wee.
The Pee Wee Herman Show.
Don't you
Oh.
you look like Pee-wee.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know that.
We could make a poll on Facebook.
We need to do a poll on that.
Yeah.
Now, Lisa is saying that she's never watched Finding Nemo, and Tasha is saying that we're echoing really bad.
I know we're echoing really bad.
I wonder why we're echoing really bad.
Because we're kind of close together, and there are probably telephones galore.
Yeah, we have a lot. If people could actually see behind, we've got a computer to the left,
We got
the ring light to the right, computer screen in front, Lana to the right of me, cords galore, mixing board.
I'm actually gonna touch it.
Yeah, somebody's saying, yeah, what's up with the sound?
Yeah, is that better?
I don't know. Please respond. I know there's a delay. The sound.
You should turn the sound down.
It seems like there is an echo in the sound. So that is very
Listen.
unfortunate.
I need you to pause. Let a woman.
Okay, we're going to pause.
No, not pause. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let a woman fix it really quickly.
What's that supposed to mean? Let a woman fix it.
Yes. Is that better?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to let people see. Now, it's been very interesting as, a lot of this might bleed over, but if you were to open a business, let's not worry about COVID. Let's take that out of the equation. Okay, not as bad. Thank you, Tasha.
Thank you.
Tasha. Her name is Tasha. I say Tate. Now, you thought her name was Tasha to begin with, right?
For about 3 months, every time you referred to her, you said Tasha, and so literally until she said, "Stop calling me that," I literally was like, "Holy shit!" He had me believing because he never said it any other way that your name was actually Tasha, and
But-
it is not Tasha.
But I said your name
And
wrong for the longest time,
Well,
right?
he
But-
still does
On occasion.
I'm not sure if it's
On occasion.
purpose or
Well, hopefully we can get that worked out.
unfocused. I'm not sure.
Now, let's take COVID out of the equation. If you were to open a business, have you ever been like thought, I would like to open a business? Because you do have some good ideas. The piddle pad, you want to explain that to everyone?
No, I have not patented that.
No?
We're not talking about that.
That is patent. See, if it's recorded, though, then your idea is recorded and it's timestamped.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
It's
No,
timestamped.
I don't know. That's my $1 million Shark Tank idea. I don't think I want to share it. I don't know.
Natasha said she's just going to start
I don't
calling
know
me.
contract law. I have
You
a friend
boy.
who's in that. Like, I should probably contact her. I don't want to say it.
You don't want to say what it is.
No, but I do have $1 million idea.
You-
I think it's a good idea, and I think it would make at least $1 million if I patent that prototype, that idea. I think it would be bold.
I think it's a very good idea.
You know what it is.
I do know what it
it's
is.
It's actually a really good idea, and it's not.
It's really a good idea, and it also made me think, without giving too much away, it's not very hard to pee into the toilet, I wouldn't imagine. So how do so many
Giving
people-
the idea away?
No, I'm not giving it away. Why is it so hard for people why do people miss the toilet when they're peeing? Is it a hard thing to do?
People are unfocused. People are
Unfocused. I can honestly say this, and I've said this on the
People
list.
gather a lot. You've got a lot on your mind, a million things, and you stop and you don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you walked into the refrigerator to put away your purse. Like you don't know why or where your keys are. You're like, I just had that. Like, people in general are scatterbrained and pulled into a lot of different ways. So
yeah, please let us know also if
that's why people
the audio's
pee around
better.
the toilet. Of course, I don't think many females pee around the toilet. But
I can honestly say this. I have never in my entire life, and I said this on the list, left the toilet seat up, ever. In my entire life. What's the puzzled look?
nothing.
Are you trying to dispute that?
No, I'm not going to dispute that.
I really haven't.
I'm not going to. I don't want to argue about it.
No, you think that I have, don't you? I haven't. I really haven't.
Well, like the toilet, like lid, not this, like
The lid.
the seat, not the lid. Okay, because you leave the lid up, but like
Well, I mean the lid up, but I mean the actual
no,
toilet seat.
No, the toilet seat, like the ring, like the extra.
Anytime I've ever been there, anytime that I've
Anytime we've ever filmed on location at my place, like no, you've
never. So I can honestly make that claim. Sound is much better. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So what about you? Can you lay claim to anything like that before we move on? And people at home think about this as well, about the businesses.
I used to have this dream when I was younger, and it was me and my sister. We'd sit up late. What would you do if you won the lottery and all this? Or like, how would you rob this place and think you could get away with it? We like make thought out, detailed plans, and then negate and debate and just figure it out to where it's like, ha, that is the perfect plan. But like each idea would be either shot down or argued to where it wouldn't work. But we used to have the what business would you open in it? I used to think it was a bookstore, but it was fairly different type of layout, more like a communal meeting, almost
Okay.
like a library bookstore with like Wi-Fi charging hookups with like long flat tables and benches to where people would be sitting side by side, even strangers.
Okay.
Like, excuse me, let me get to like, you need to be far away from people. With some sort of not really coffee bar or anything like that, but definitely alcoholic beverages.
What about a weed bar?
Alcoholic beverages at the least.
When we came up this, we would not have been old enough or things been on the path to legalization enough to think weed bar. But like pretty much like no books would literally be above like this height
Mm-hmm.
if you were sitting on like a couch like setting, like so that they would just span long ways across the room
Okay.
behind you and around you to where you could just turn around and browse or know where amongst the sections. But it would be more of a place to like sit and write, and it'd be kind of quiet in the evenings after something different, like alcoholic beverages, live entertainment, but it still ultimately be a bookstore.
I think I like that idea.
I have this whole vision in my head. My sister Amy would know what I'm talking about because we talked about it a lot. So it wouldn't be just like I said, a cafe or a bookstore. It would be more like almost like a creative learning or
Like a very creative environment.
an environment to where it wasn't like quiet, but comfortable and cozy to where you would be like, oh. But things would kind of change around you to where maybe it could be like somewhat of a muse or something. Your milieu could be a muse.
That's a good idea. I had thought often of a I know there's typical, and obviously we're talking about we'll take COVID out of the equation just to make it fun, but you could have a business
Yes.
of
Take COVID out to make it fun.
the movie theater, but in addition to, I know you can get streaming movies all the time, anywhere, but I think that there's something said about actually going into the theater and seeing said movie on a big screen. Certain movies I think are meant to be seen on a big screen, and it's the experience. When you're at home, I'm speaking personally, there's other distractions. You've got your cell phone, you've got, if you have children, maybe a child in the next room. Maybe you get hungry, so you get up and go to the refrigerator and get something to eat. You have to go pee, go to the bathroom. You need to masturbate in the movie, you do that. Whatever you might need to do. But when you're in a movie theater...
Inappropriate.
Sorry about that. When you're in an actual movie theater, not X-rated, but a typical movie theater, you're there what? To view the movie.
I just want to make another point. He does look like Paul Rubin. All of this all kind of lines up. Right?
You want to know a side note? A side note that I've never told anyone. I'll reveal in the show. So there was a Britney Spears movie, because Britney's in the news lately, called Crossroads. And being I guess a quote, horny teenager, 20-something, sometimes she was in her wrong case in one scene of that movie. And when I was running projection upstairs in the movie, I masturbated to that scene.
At the movie theater.
Well, I was upstairs. No one else knew below. So, so that's a little...
That movie theater doesn't exist.
It's in Northern Virginia. It's not here. It's in Northern Virginia.
It's a Paul Rubin moment. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like
Yes.
Yes, that's Paul Rubin.
So yeah, that's probably TMI for most people. Too bad.
I'm a little uncomfortable now.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Are you? No, if you go over, there's a video collection to the right. There's probably the DVD to Crossroads.
So, whatever.
But anyway, I would definitely see the Tisha is saying the last time she went to the movies, the kids behind me kept throwing popcorn and they were being rude to other people. Have you ever encountered that when you're in the movie theater? Rude or loud people that have disrupted your experience?
To a certain degree, yes, but I don't hear very well, so I have selective hearing. So if I'm zoned in on
What? Huh? Just kidding. Sorry.
So if I'm zoned in trying to hear the actual movie, then like things happen around me, even like somebody right beside me, I'm like, I was just talking. It's like, oh, what?
So it's not really, they don't really disturb you quite as much.
But I have bad hearing. And
Do you have bad
I used to
hearing?
being around kids of different ages, so I'm just like selective hearing. Like I can tune those little shits out
Right.
very easily. Like, oh, okay, like it doesn't like I guess emotionally it doesn't rile me up or anything like that. So,
No, there's been several times in the past I think you might have heard one time when Terry and I, PST is her name, a Psycho Stalker Terry, that was her radio name.
Yes.
Her and I went to see Saw, the midnight showing of Saw, and some people were behind us. And it was a very quiet scene of the movie, and she told them to shut the fuck up during one of the pivotal scenes in the movie. Now, I was always one to kind of be like, I'll let it slide until I became a little bit older. And then, like, I'm going to the movie to enjoy a movie, not hear somebody behind me be on their cell phone, talking loud, turning the light on up and down the aisle, whispering. I'm like, shut the hell up. We're here to watch the movie. One time I was watching Nightcrawler. I was probably high as could be. I'm just going to be honest with everyone. I was stoned. Perfect setting my situation at the time. Sit out in the parking lot, smoke a lot of marijuana, get high, go and enjoy the Jake Gyllenhaal movie Nightcrawler. I have the entire movie theater to myself. No one, because I enjoy going to the movies completely alone.
I hope this is a very grand way of saying it.
20 minutes into the movie, if you've ever seen the movie, it's the high experience will really bring it right to your face. Someone comes in bouncing a mini basketball behind me because I'm in the next row to the back. I turn around, I say, shut the fuck up. Grab the basketball, and they don't say another word the rest of the movie.
I'm gonna have to slow your roll. You seem a little triggered right now.
I was triggered.
You're triggered right now. How long ago?
This was in 2000. I think the movie came out in 2014. So I was out of the parking lot in my very cool ass Mini Cooper.
7 years ago.
Yes. 7 years
Very
ago.
cool.
Yes. And I like the Mini Cooper because when I stepped out of it, I looked like a giant.
Sure you did.
What did you say?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: they didn't bounce the basketball again, and they were quiet. And they thought that I was a badass because, in all honesty, each one of the people could have individually kicked my ass had they tried. Like they were all bigger than me.
Maybe he's somewhat. I don't know. I just don't.
Is all the water almost gone? I'll have the one that's only a sip left.
I drink cold water. If I will, I usually don't try to control what this show's content is, but
I'm sorry. She is the executive producer of The Late Date, which will be on tomorrow at what time?
Midnight.
Midnight tomorrow.
Midnight.
Yes.
Midnight tomorrow.
Unless
we do a late date early, but
Tasha's saying it pisses me off. I don't want to say it pisses me off, but I was really. Have you ever seen the movie Nightcrawler?
Does anybody see this that pisses him off? It's like, control it, dude. It's like, that's not that bad of a trigger.
I'm passionate. When I go to a movie, I don't want to be interrupted. I don't go to a movie to hear babies crying, to hear people chomping on their popcorn, to hear people in the background farting or calling in somebody a dumbass. I go to the movie to watch a movie.
Well, then choose a time and a viewing that you would avoid those type of crowds.
I did.
The crowd's wane.
Wednesday night, 9:45. Who else wants to go to that show alone?
Well, there you see it, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why he was alone.
Yes, I would say
Everybody's
this.
like, I can't watch a movie with this asshole.
Isn't it an odd thing to like to go to movies alone?
No, I've gone to see movies alone. I've gone out to eat alone. I've gone out to have a drink alone. I've gone on trips and vacations alone.
Yes.
I've camped alone. But those are all things I actively had to force myself to do because a lot of the times if you choose to go do those things, you're going to automatically be on guard and defensive that other people are looking at you. And
Yes, because most people out aren't alone.
Me, I'm sitting there like, I just try to focus on what I'm doing. I don't really try to pay attention to what other people are saying. And that takes
MF in practice.
Yeah.
It really does to go and do things, and it takes building yourself up and saying, you know what, I need to go do these things.
And it
I
does
wanna go
take
to that, but I
confidence
don't
as
need
well.
Anybody to go with me, or maybe I just want to go see it, and I don't think I know anybody else that would be interested. But after I do it, maybe I want to talk about it to a few people. But like, it's something you did for yourself, or if they didn't want to be there, you could share it with them through you. I don't know.
I think so
I don't
too.
know. It just takes a lot of confidence. I've been slowly doing that. I think within the past year and a half, it's bit me in the ass. Couple, like, not a couple, like a lot.
Mhm.
But in general, when dealing with public and being that type of person that would want to go places alone, feel comfortable alone,
Now, Kristen's
and not
saying,
be annoyed or anything like that, you just got to look at. I mean, generally, if you're still alone and nobody's sitting at your table and you can say hi, you can greet, you can smile, and you can be nice. These people don't know you. These people don't know you. They are not trying to get to know you. So why are you worried about their opinion?
right,
You're out there doing those things alone for you
because you want to.
because you want to,
Mhm.
and you should do this.
Now, everyone on here, Catherine, Ray, Tasha, everyone's saying that, it's okay to go out alone. Kristen's saying, I've always enjoyed going to do things by myself. It's peaceful and you can come and go as you please. Now, I think that is very true. When I was younger, when I was 17, up until this point, I've probably been to the movies more alone than I have with someone. I enjoy odd films. I enjoy going that I know most people might not want to go to. Like Talitha went to several different movies with me when her and I went out, and I was like, listen, you don't have to go to these movies. I know you're not going to enjoy them. I appreciate your company. You're welcome to come. And she did come, but then she would tell me, I didn't care for that movie much.
Well, I'm that type of person that will tell people I don't want to go see that for one reason or other. But I have strange,
Tastes.
and convictions to where there's reasons why I don't like certain actors and actresses or directors or anything like that. I do hold people accountable for their behavior. My time is money for you. Sorry, I'm not going to waste my time and possibly give you extra money because I don't like you.
No, I agree with that as well.
Are you talented? Yes, but ultimately, I just don't.
You don't have to
I
give
don't
into
have to
that.
pay into it. I don't have to pay into it.
And I respect that. Are you able to? So it's difficult for you to maybe separate the work of any artist from their personal behavior, whether it be film, an author, musician, poet, painter.
If getting into character and all that is pretty good and all that, but to fully appreciate a character that an actor or something, it's almost like the integrity, the personal. If you can be an actor and actress and that personal touch where they can see it as being truly you and being honest and just I don't know. That's a whole other show.
We can do an entire show on
that. That person has to be in it. Like there's a lot of actors and actresses I don't watch because no matter how good the movie is, and I purposely avoid them, even if I see them, I'm like, well, that was a decent movie. Why didn't I choose to watch that or wasn't so home or so excited about it? It's called that person behaved the exact same way. It's almost like they're linear. Is that how that person is outside of this? Because you should see a little bit of that person within their characters. And if characters are always a certain way, then you have to assume that there's a little bit of that person in that character, and you judge that accordingly.
Now, you've mentioned a certain actor that he's pretty much the same in almost every single movie, and I would agree with that. Do you think that? Well, Will Ferrell as well, for the most part.
For a certain extent, and I don't. And there are small exceptions, but they didn't really work out as hits. But Adam Sandler, I don't like that type of. You've never, is that how you are? Because I've never seen you anywhere else. but the character that you play in each different plot, each different movie and theme is kind of the same.
No, it's weird.
It's on a linear type of character, and it doesn't fluctuate. And if it does, it seems odd or strange because there's so many roles set in this same exact role that it's like you have to be really comfortable in that role.
Well, Adam
Is it
Sandler is
a character,
basically-
is that like a part of themselves, which I would be annoyed by.
Now, he's basically the same almost in every single movie.
This isn't on the movie show.
It is not on the
Which
movie
we
show.
have-
But I will say this. 3 different Adam Sandler movies are different than the rest. And I give him a pass only, especially the last 10 years, because from everything I've researched, he's a super nice person and is very generous to cast and crew. So I will give him a pass. And he's generally, anything that I've ever researched, I've done extensive research on a lot of people, he's nice and caring.
Well, all of that. I don't know.
The last 10 years of the movies have been rather, I don't watch a lot of them.
I don't know in this, at just my age, relative to when like movies like The Waterboy and stuff like that would come out. If you're still watching and thinking that's a great movie at the age we are now, when possibly would have been a whole lot more immature. You're talking 20 plus years ago. I mean, if you're still thinking that's a good movie, then I'm going to question your judgment.
Same. Now I will
I'm
say
gonna
this.
question your judgment.
I will say this
But
about
I didn't like it.
a lot of those
It
type of
wouldn't-
movies.
Wouldn't hold the test of time.
I've seen The Waterboy, that particular one, for example, one time.
I had to actually.
Not really the kind of comedy that I enjoy. What do you have to do?
I have to go out of focus.
Okay, go out of focus. Go.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I do like Adam Sandler's early work, but I was younger when it first came out. The Waterboy, I've always liked darker and very interesting and character-driven movies. And if I ever watched an Adam Sandler movie, it would be more if I were with someone or if for nostalgic purposes. But that wasn't really. Ray was saying Adam is hot and he's a fucking funny guy, and his movies have always been good. Love his music too.
You mean Adam Sandler is hot, right?
No, me. Is it me? No, Ray's saying Punch Drunk Love, which is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies.
Well, that was a better movie.
Or one
And if
more
he would've
recent
been
one,
doing-
Uncut Gems, is probably his best
I don't
acting.
think I've seen it.
It's very intense.
Well, his original fame, like the Billy Madison, the Happy Gilmore,
or the SNL stuff.
and the SNL stuff was pretty much him either faking some type of physical.
Oh,
or
thank you, Ray.
mental-
She said both Adams. Thank
or-
you.
Oh. Oh. Anyways, it's just like he was using like things that you would see in real people, and it was almost like kind of insensitive.
Yeah.
And using physical or mental disabilities and quirks with people with those things, like for comedic value.
Was it
And I did
meant
not
as
like
mean
it.
though? Do you think he meant it as mean?
I don't care if it's mean.
No,
I don't
that's what I'm
like
asking
using-
you personally. Not if you
I
care.
don't personally believe he meant it as mean, but I can
Do you think it
personally
was
say
like a product of the time?
yeah, and people are assholes. I didn't like them then, so I don't know. Like
No,
I just didn't think they were very sensitive to. Like I felt like it was a stuck character. That
Which
it was
one?
Like you were
Bill and Madison?
all of them. That you were like his early ones, his
Okay.
early comedies. That it seemed like you were okay because there are people out there that have like the speech impediment or the behaviorisms of somebody like that. It's almost like you picked it up from people that are handicapped in some way in those areas.
That's a
Either
very
physical or
interesting-
mental, and it's like you're using it for a
Comedic
comedic
gain.
laughs. And I like you're talking 14, 15, 16.
What
He
is the
speaks-
Waterboy?
he
Is that
was-
what you're
he-
referring to
like
mainly?
all of his earliers to where I just did not like it. I was like, I don't like that because there are people that speak and behave and have those type of physical manifestations of tics of things wrong with them that it's like, I mean, he's not making that up out of his head.
Right.
He is emulating other people he's seen, and the only way you would have seen that would have been in actual
physically or mentally
Now that's
handicapped people, and
an interesting.
It bothered me.
That's an interesting perspective.
I never liked it.
Let me ask you, that's a very interesting perspective. It's because what if?
I mean, everybody else, and I know he didn't mean it serious and all that. Like I said, I truly believe he could probably be a nice guy. I could never get on board or watch those movies because I said, but
Now,
the
I'm only.
insensitiveness. I'm not. Adam Sandler didn't write those roles, didn't write those lines, didn't write all of that. He's being directed and produced and all that as an actor, and he's being paid to be exactly that. So I can forgive that to a certain extent. I truly believe he could be a good guy, but I just wouldn't watch those because I felt like writers, producers, directors, all that, they're like the whole thing. It just isn't. It's insensitive.
So that's a very interesting point. So you came up. I've never looked at it from that perspective. I've always looked at it from he did these characters that you just said, but I always looked at it as these characters overcame these obstacles.
Well,
Not that they were my favorite movies. Like in The Waterboy, he does have kind of a speech impediment and all that, but his character overcame the obstacle of people making fun of him, and he was able to overcome that. You know what I mean? I'm playing devil's advocate here with.
Well, the thematic arc is probably okay if you think and you want to think it as a feel-good movie. Yes, and it's lighthearted and it was supposed to be. It's just I didn't think that they took and I just didn't like content.
Okay.
I didn't like the characteristics that they wanted to portray in the characters because you can clearly tell that is insensitively driven from actual things people have seen or are judging. That would be funny and stuff. How would you feel if you saw somebody that had some sort of disability or just like little Nicky, they've been over and all that and they can't talk very well?
Just like
somebody that's had a stroke.
Wait, who? What?
Like little Nicky.
Wait, look at the third DVD there. No, that DVD honestly is for my friend Kim. She asked me to order this many years ago.
Like I'm disappointed.
Hey, I will say this: I wasn't a fan of that movie.
I mean, but it's
my friend had asked me to order that.
It's simply just like I said. It's simply he didn't come up with those movements, speech, talk, body language, all on his own. They have actually taken that from things that they've seen from people in the outside world, and most of the times those people probably have actual health issues, and it's insensitive. So I never liked it, and I mean I'll argue to this day. It's not I'll argue it. I'll just.
I mean, it's not. It's just.
I don't have to watch it.
No, I agree with you.
I don't have to watch it.
But Ray said she gets what you're saying, and Popeye's chicken is fucking good. That was also said. Catherine, as Katie saying, red hooded sweatshirt. So yeah, very fun. Now, originally.
I feel like I got really mean and.
No, not at all.
No, absolutely not.
Not at all. I mean, there's several DVDs in front of Lana. One called Pecker, which I've never actually seen. Bill Murray's directorial debut, Quick Change. We've got Andy Dick's directorial debut, Danny Roan. My friend, he's a director, Edward Burns. He also starred in Saving Private Ryan. So yeah, it just a lot of weird and movies you probably haven't heard of. So we are approaching 45 minutes into the show. We came into the show not knowing exactly what we were going to talk about. Now, I did tell Lana that although there's several different things that I don't excel at, I'm good at improv with topics, and so is she. So round of applause, myself and Lana.
We all loved your stories.
Yes, it was really very good.
They were great.
So Katie was saying she was good friends with an ex-cousin before we were together. The cousin was wheelchair bound and taking forever getting out of the door to smoke. It was lift and was like, F, can you move it? He was fumbling around with his lighter. He loved me immensely. He said most people didn't even see him and treated him like everyone else. So I can see that how most people that might have a disability, they are treated like they have a disability. I've heard people say that. I did used to work with disabled people,
Yeah.
and a lot of the disabled people felt bad that people looked at them disabled.
Well, do you think people like that would have those type of mannerisms, or regardless, and it could be an array and it's exactly all across the whole flipping plane of, and I work in healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
of diagnosis of people with either mental or physical, but to take anything like that and they are treated different, and then just imagine like just the punching bag you feel like, I don't know, it's a punchline. That using it as a punchline, just like even Lana, you know it's joking and okay, and you truly believe these people, but just I don't know. That's unfair. I really feel it's unfair.
You what?
I think it's unfair.
I do too.
I love those other people, and those other people are here to teach us.
And see, that's why
to love better. Right?
That's why we're called the other people, because we're for those other people, the outcasts. We're for the people that are downtrodden.
Like,
We're for the people that society kicks to the curb. That's what we want to come in, the other people.
He knows what he's talking about.
I do.
He's been kicked to the curb a lot.
Kicked to the curb. Kicked very many times.
Yes.
That's where Lana found me,
The curb.
on the curb. So it has been a great show tonight. I do thank you, Lana, for joining me, and thanks everyone for tuning into the show. Now, Ray Ray is saying, she says, I feel you have to be able to find the comedy and all the pain and bullshit we have to deal with. Good point. Good point.
That is a good point, but
Because a lot of the comedy that I say out loud could be taken wrong. I made a comedy to a little kid not long ago.
If you see one actor continuously behaving like this and making millions of dollars on doing that, that's a little insensitive. Like, find some other roles. He is a good person. He was a good actor. He could have, but it was a sign of the times, and people weren't so outspoken of how that could be. Like, no.
Yeah.
And like I said, the money's good, and you're going to get paid for it, and you're good at it. That's fine. But I think Adam Sandler himself would say, a lot of the shit that he was paid for a job was insensitive.
Yeah.
It was insensitive.
Now, I do think that some of my comedy in the
Can
past.
we hashtag Adam Sandler in this so he could just at least answer?
If I ever get
because
trouble
I
back.
very seriously believe this. Like, I disliked all of those movies because I felt
I
like
can
they
see your
were
passion.
capitalizing on that.
I can see your passion.
Anyways.
I would never capitalize on anyone that's taken advantage of. I mean, I truly would, but it's only because I love money. So I don't want people to hold that against me. And I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. You know, I think, honestly, I say things sometimes seriously.
After this show that people don't know, like,
What's real and what's fake?
WTF, what you.
Well, I will say this, for all that's out there, if you want to pay $7, they can visit my OnlyFans page.
You should have an OnlyFans page.
It's Ryan Parker on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You can see pictures of me covering my junk exposed, my ass exposed, some classy pictures, and
I think we're gonna end the show. This is true.
I need money.
If you.
We need
this,
money.
This is true. They are good pictures.
If everyone wants to go on there and subscribe, I will do the show next week. We'll do the show topless next week. Will you do it topless?
No.
I mean, you don't have to show anything, but you can still be topless.
No.
No?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. We should do the show topless.
We did a pantsless show. We did do a pantsless show. So, I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyways, let's wrap it up.
I think we need to wrap it up. It's been a great show, everyone. Please check out the Other People Show on YouTube. Share and like this video. We've got to send some prizes out to Heather. And if the third person, thank you, Catherine. Katie, I will say Catherine. She says you guys are great. Thank you, Ray Ray. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Keaton, everyone that's tuned in. A lot of people.
Oh, goodness.
But we have Pippin, episode 1, coming out Sunday.
Yes, this is important, people. We have Pippin, episode 1, Sunday at 12
noon. Yep.
noon.
Now,
High
Lana,
noon.
you look beautiful
Pippin's
tonight.
gonna be here high noon. Beautiful. Thank you.
Now, Ray Ray is saying you look beautiful, and she really enjoys hearing your views.
Thank you for that. I try not to be so, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it makes-
set in my stone, set in my ways.
I
do
think-
get very passionate.
I think these things make
I
the
do
show.
apologize for that.
No, there's no need to apologize because
Like my
there's.
convictions about certain things are very, very strong, and it's not based upon anything that anybody else has said or heard. It's just what I felt, and I can't change.
It seems like you're able to like if you have an opposing view of someone that you don't really seem to hold that against them, that you're able to like still maintain.
Yeah, because in general, like to a certain extent, like how I feel, like the things in the like gun co outreach show, it's well, that's just how I feel about those things. Those
And I don't
are
think that-
fundamental convictions, like those things, they're unwavering. It's or moral or ethics, like
Right.
my own. I don't have other people guiding me or anything. It's just certain situations and certain things. It's just genuinely what I feel.
Ray is saying that you should never apologize for your feelings or opinions, and I agree. This is a free forum, I
But
think.
Ray, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got
I was
one.
gonna show
and
mine.
everybody
Shit,
stinks.
no.
No, do you not? Do
Oh.
not. I almost had to jump across the room.
I wasn't going to. But this is a PG-13 show.
Yeah, it's so good PG-13
Yes.
all night tonight. Okay.
Yes, it
Anyways,
So thank you
everybody.
everyone for tuning in. Pippin Sunday at noon, the other people show on YouTube. We have the late date
yes.
tomorrow at noon. Not noon, midnight, right? Midnight. Sorry.
Yeah. Pippin high noon on Sunday.
Yes. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I think it's been a fun show.
It has been a funny show.
So love to everyone,
Bye.
and see you tomorrow. Good night.